the gods of pool can miss shots, then it's certainly expected that us amateurs will miss as well. But some of us are missing a lot more than we should be. So in this video, I'm going to be covering 5 more reasons you're missing shots and how not to miss them. Number 1, cut induced throw. Cut induced throw is the tendency of the object ball to be thrown to the right when cutting it to the left, or to the left when cutting it to the right. As you can see here, despite the shot being lined up perfectly, the shot misses to the left of the pocket. On straight shots, slight cuts, and sharp cuts, cut induced throw doesn't really play that big of a role, and is almost negligible. But the closer you get to 30 degrees, the effect becomes quite severe, and it can cause you to miss. If you notice you're missing shots because you're just barely undercutting them, then you probably aren't having a problem with your aim, and rather it's just that you haven't compensated for cut induced throw. The best ways to deal with cut induced throw are either aiming a little bit thinner or playing with outside spin to counteract the cut induced throw with spin induced throw, which is a great segue into reason number 2, spin induced throw. A player's skill level can mostly be determined by how consistently they can deliver the tip of their cue to the exact point on the cue ball that they intend. Less skilled players will usually have a less consistent delivery, and therefore they have a tendency to put unintended left and right hand spin on the cue ball, which results in unaccounted for spin-induced throw. A bit of left on the cue ball will throw the object ball to the right, a bit of right on the cue ball will throw the object ball to the left. And so if you end up getting too much spin-induced throw, you're going to throw the ball away from the pocket and you're going to end up missing. And it's worth noting that spin-induced throw is most pronounced on dead straight shots. The only way to avoid this is to get better at hitting the cue ball exactly where you intend to hit it. In other words, work on your fundamentals, which by the way, I actually just completed all the modules for my free course on the fundamentals, so if you have any doubts, feel free to visit my website, which I'm going to link below. Don't worry, it's completely free, you don't have anything to sign up for, and there's no ads. But let's keep going to number 3. Shooting with an elevated cue. An elevated cue can be quite detrimental to your accuracy, especially if you're one of those people who tends to accidentally put unintended left to right spin on the cue ball. Even a little bit of left to right will result in a masse-like effect, which will almost always be a guaranteed miss. One of the biggest noticeable differences between a total novice and a competent player who, let's say they play on a league, is that competent players will shoot with a cue that is close to level. It's one of the first things that you learn whenever you're trying to get better. Even when shooting with bottom, it shouldn't be necessary to elevate the cue more than a few degrees to get over the top of the rail. The majority of the people watching this video probably already know to shoot with a pretty level cue. But there are times you may need to elevate, such as if the cue ball is close to the rail and you need to shoot with stun or draw. Yet, when players are faced with such difficult circumstances, they fail to recognize how difficult the shot actually is. I see a lot of players not really give these shots the respect that they deserve, often shooting quickly because the shot just feels uncomfortable or they don't feel confident about it. On these types of shots, it's important to take your time and deliver your cue to the precise center of the cue ball. Shoot with a level cue if you can, and if you have to elevate, just try to stick with the center of the cue ball. Number 4, shooting too hard. It actually kind of hurts me to put this one in here because it is probably one of the most overused excuses I've heard over and over and over again. It's one of the most common reasons to blame someone for missing a shot. But it really is true that shooting harder makes it harder to pocket a ball. There's something called shooting at pocket speed, which makes the pocket a lot bigger as the rails tend to be a lot more forgiving at lower speeds. Shooting fast, however, will tighten the pockets and requires a lot more accuracy. In addition to making the pocket a bit tighter, shooting hard requires more muscle and force, which is harder to control than a medium stroke and can result in a breakdown of your fundamentals. I recommend only shooting hard when it's required for position. And last but not least, let's talk about every pool player's worst nightmare, bad equipment. We all know that one table in the league that nobody wants to play on, or maybe you're trying to play with a house cue that's about as straight as a rainbow. There's no worse feeling than seeing a ball that you're supposed to make slowly drift away from the pocket and end up being a miss. Playing with equipment that is unpredictable and inconsistent can be extremely frustrating and makes it nearly impossible to assess if it is you or the equipment that's at fault. Alright, well that is it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching till the end. If you liked the video, be sure to let YouTube know. Hit that like button. I'm sorry I haven't posted it so long, but there should be new videos coming out every couple weeks or so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let me know what kind of videos you want me to make, and you guys, take it easy.